Hi everyone, Mindless Autumn here, and today I am talking about setting up and using a daily log in a bullet journal. And if you stay till the end, I will also be talking about threading and what it is and how that works. This is how the daily log looks in the standard bulletjournal.com, or if you look at the Bullet Journal Method book. And it is what is called a rapid log. So this is the closest I got to a full sentence, but the idea is to use the little symbols that you learned about in my video talking about setting up a key, and as little information as possible to write down in your book, information that you're going to need later, so that you can be in a meeting or a classroom and get all the information down without having to spend a lot of time writing out paragraphs or sentences or explanations of what it is that you need to do. And when you're done with your current day, you just do the same thing for the next day and continue throughout the book. Another idea that I have tried is putting the time down the side of the page, so each hour of the day that I would be awake. And for some people, having your time blocked out like this helps make it easier for you to see when you have free time to maybe get some other things done and plan out your day a little better. And since this takes up so much room, I did the same thing that I did here, but on the side, so that the entire page became a day for each page. And I ended up having a little bit extra space, so I did a spot to track my meals and my steps. So breakfast, lunch, dinner, snack, and steps. And then down here, I probably would just doodle or write a quote or leave it blank if I was busy and didn't feel like doing anything. Whether you're using the times or not, if you wanted to do a top 3 priorities, or if you just write bigger and want more room, you could go ahead and use an entire page for the day. The way that I tend to do it is I write out the full day, and I tend to do that in cursive just so I could practice my handwriting. And then rather than dots for tasks, I like the look of the boxes, so I do that. And I put the events on the side, so anything that I have scheduled for a certain time is going to be over here, and anything that's a task or something I need to do is going to be over here. And then underneath both would be where I journal or write any little short notes to remind me of something that happened that day that I may want to refer to later. And then if I use up the whole page, that's fine. Sometimes I do. And if not, then I'll just write out the next day and repeat the process for the next day. Something I just thought of recently is to break down the day similarly to how I broke down the week and the month, where I had things in categories. I'm thinking that this would be really helpful if you have blocks of time that you're trying to focus on certain things. So rather than having these all on one big list jumbled out wherever I think of, oh yeah, I need to go to the post office, then that wouldn't be something I'm going to do when I'm focusing on these tasks. Having them categorized may help to figure out what you're going to do when, without having to plot out every hour of your day. And as I mentioned at the beginning, I also wanted to talk about something called threading. And that is basically noting pages that link to each other. So just making something up as an example, it is September now. I made an appointment for the dentist in March, and like I showed in the future log video, you would note the page that you wrote this information on. So page 61, you go to your future log and you write on here March 3rd, page 61. Then when you're setting up your calendar for March, you go to this page and find out what's going on that day. The other part of that could be, say I lost a filling a couple weeks ago, and it took me that long to get the appointment with my dentist. So I wrote on page 40 that I lost a filling, and when I go to page 61, I see not only my appointment with my dentist, but also a note to go look at what happened on page 40 that relates to that. And then when I go to that, I'll see the note that says what day I lost the filling. And rather than having to rewrite on whatever day I lost the filling and make a whole sentence or paragraph or story out of it, I have the information I need in a very easy to write and also easy to find later format. And you can also thread between notebooks. So if you get this book filled up before March 3rd and you start an entirely new book, you could number this book. So you would say book number 1, page 61, and then in here, when you set up March, you not only write the appointment in here, but you also write 1-61, and then you know that's in book 1, page 61, and you have easy access to the information you need without having to flip through every page to find it, and also without having to rewrite everything in here telling you what day you lost the filling, what day you made the appointment, when the appointment is, and all of that information. So anytime you have something come up, you always would write that on whatever current day you're on, and then you use this threading technique to jump between pages and link notes to each other that are related in some way. It doesn't necessarily have to be just for appointments. It could be for anything. And that is one of the things that is great about the bullet journal as compared to a regular calendar or planner. Although you could use the threading technique in those, it makes it a little bit more difficult because they tend to not be numbered pages, and it's a little bit harder to do the rapid logging in them. You would most likely have to rewrite all of the information in your planner. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already. And next week we will be talking about collections, what they are, and how you would use those. And until then, I will see you next time. Bye!